Hello class, good morning. Our topic for today about Philippine electrical code, and I'm Ray Pulido and my partner is Jimboy Kabiling. Purpose. They have a part of purpose. One is practical safeguarding. The purpose of this code is the practical safeguarding of persons and property from hazard arising from the use of electricity. And two is adequacy. The code contains provisions that are considered minimum requirements necessary for safety. Compliance therewith and proper maintenance will result in an installation that essentially free from hazard but necessary, efficient, convenient, and adequate for good services or future expansion of electrical use. Number three is intention. The code intended for the exclusive use of a licensed electrical practitioner, PEE, REE, and RME. This code is not intended as a design specification nor an instruction manual for a non-licensed electrical practitioner unless under the supervision of a licensed electrical practitioner. Number four is relation to other international standard. The code addresses the fundamental principle of protection for safety, contains Section 313 of International Electrotechnical Commission Standard of 60364-1 Electrical Installation of Building. Adequacy. Example of adequacy is the hazardous often because of overloading of wiring system of methods or usage not conformity with this code. Because the initial wiring did not provide an increase in the uses of electricity, an initial adequate installation and reasonable provision for system changes will provide for future increase in the use of electricity. It is highly recommended that a licensed electrical practitioner be consulted for any electrical requirements, including changes, failure to do so many result in fire, serious injury or death. Number three is fire hazard, electrocution, serious injury, or even death was also occur with lack of improper maintenance of wiring system. Wiring system is recommended to be inspected and tested by licensed electrical practitioner or at least once a year and for wiring system of more than 3 times years in installation. Relation other international standards. The requirements of this code, the fundamental principle of protection for safety contained in Section 131 International Electronical Commission of Standard 60364-1 Electrical Installation of Buildings. According to Section 131 contains fundamental principle of protection for safety and encompass protection against thermal effects, protection against overcurrent, protection against fault currents, and protection against overvoltage. All these potential hazards are addressed by the requirements of this code. Article 1, Section 2, Scope. Covered this code covers the installation of electrical conductors, equipment, and raceways, signaling and communication conductors, equipment, and raceways, and optical fiber cables and raceways installed with or onto or from. Article 1, Section 2, Scope. About the materials of electrical installation, just have standard and not be a substandard. Article 1, Section 3, Authority. This code has been approved and adopted by the Board of Electrical Engineering, Professional Regulation and Commission. By virtue of authority in board under Republic Act 7920, it hereby directs strict adherence to provision of this code. Where deviation from this provision are necessary, such deviation shall not be made except the written permission from these government bodies exercising legal jurisdiction applicable only the particular job for which such permission was granted. According to Republic Act 7920, they strict the provision code of authority. Article Chapter 1, Section 4, Enforcement. This code was mandatory application by government bodies exercising legal jurisdiction over electrical installation. These government bodies only through a licensed electrical practitioner shall have the responsibility of implementing the provision of the code in deciding on the approval of equipment and materials, and for granting the special permission contemplated in this code, where is assured the equivalent object can be achieved by establishing and maintaining effectively safety. According to this code of enforcement, we have decided to approve all equipment materials and granting a special permission to our supervision and authority for establishing the maintaining effective and safety enforcement. The authority having jurisdiction may waive specific requirements in this code or permit alternate methods where it is assured that equivalent object can be achieved by establishing, maintaining, and effective safety. According to Chapter 3, the authority having jurisdiction may waive specific requirements. They need all requirements for the code to permit alternately to assure the equivalent of objective can achieve by establishing the maintaining effective safely. Like building, they alternate maintaining. Number 4, the code may be required new products, construction, or materials that may not yet be available at the time. This code is adopted in such event that authority having jurisdiction may permit the use of the products, construction, or materials that comply with the most recent previous edition of this code adopted by jurisdiction. There is the list of application of electrical products. Um, Equipment for additional installation and replacement suggest by consulted and licensed electrical practitioner prior to installation for safety. Number 1 is see the requirements according to section 110-13. The requirements is electrical generating plants, industrial plants, transformer station, permanent and temporary substation, airfields, railways, switchyards, quarries and mines, watercraft, dockyards, trailers, mobile homes, recreational vehicles, and offshore facilities. Um, in number 2, sample listed is defined by Article 1. Here, Article 1. Mandatory rules and permissive rules and explanatory material. Mandatory rules is mandatory are those that identify action that are specially required, prohibited, and are characterized by the use of terms shall or shall not. Um, Permissive rules. Permissive rules of this code are those that identify action that are allowed but not required for normally used to describe option or alternative method and are characterized by the use of terms shall be permitted or shall not be required. So permissive rules did not require the normally alternate or describe the alternate methods, and they shall not permitted to be required. Explanatory material. Explanatory materials such as reference to the other standards required to related section of this code, information to the code rule, include in the code from the print notes of FPN or fine print notes are informational and are not enforceable requirements. Article 1, Section 6, Interpretation. In case of controversy, the recommendation of the Code Committee and concurrence of the Board of Electrical Engineering shall be final interpretation of any portion of the Philippine Electrical Code Part 1. According to interpretation, the controversy of the recommendation of the Code of Committee and concurrence of the Board of Electrical Engineering shall to be the final interpretation or the final of code. of any portion of the Philippine Electrical Code. Article 1, Section 7. Article 1, Section 7. The examination of equipment for safety. For the specific items of the equipment materials referred to the Code of Examination, safety made under standard condition will be provide basis for the approval where the record is made generally available through the promulgation by organization properly equipped and qualified for experimental testing, inspection, inspection of the run of goods at factories and service value. Determination through the field inspections. Um, According the examination of equipment safety, they will be inspect all the materials and they are be standard or available to the organization and equipped to be qualified to the experimental testing. Each materials they make experimental testing like cable, cable wiring, and other materials needed in the electrical installation. Article Section 1 Chapter 80 Article 1 Section 8 Wiring planning. Um, they have two types of wiring planning: future expansion and convenience. Plans for a specification that provide a ample space to raceways or spare raceways and additional space allow for future increases. In electrical power and communication circuits, distribution centers locate in readily accessible location provide a convenience and safety operation. According this future expansion convenience, they make plans before wiring or creating a wiring plan wiring plan to distribute the spaces of allowing increase of cable wiring and safety operation. And the number 2 is number of circuits in enclosure. It's elsewhere provided in this code of wires and the circuit confined in a single enclosure be varyingly restricted or limiting the number of circuit. Singles enclosure will minimize the effect from the short circuit or ground fault in one circuit. This circuit was being restricted to avoid short circuit or ground fault one circuit. Yung example, yung parang mag-spark agad and yung about sa ground floor, yung napaka natin, ganun. Metric units of measurement. Article 1, Section 9. Metric units of measurement. For the purpose of the code, metric units of measurement are in accordance with the modernized metric system. Notes the International System or SI. Article 1, Section 1. Definition of scope. The article contains only definition essential to proper application of the code. This is not intended to include commonly defined general terms. are commonly defined technical terms. From related codes and standard in general, only those terms from that are used into two or more articles are defined in Article 100. Other definitions are included in an article in which they're used to many prepared by Article 1.0. In the general, they have four or five. They have five: accessible or as applied equipment or additive, close approach, not guarded by locked doors or elevation or other effective means. Number two is accessible as applied to wiring methods, capable of being removed or exposed without damaging the building structure or finish or not permanently enclosed in the structure or finish of the building. Number three is accessible, readily or readily accessible, capable of being reached quickly for operation, renewal, or inspection without requiring those to the home readily access. Is requisite to climb over or remove the obstacle or to resort to portable ladders and sport. Ampacity. The current in amperes that a conductor can carry continuously under the condition of use without exceeding the temperature its rating. According to capacity is the higher conductor can carry continuous under the condition of use without exceed a higher temperature. Appliance is utilization equipment generally other than industrial that is normally built by standard size or type and it's installed or connected as a unit perform one or more function such as clothes, washing, air conditioning, good mixing, deep frying, and so forth. Article 1, Section 2, Permit and Inspection Certificates. Electrical permit is needed before work is started. Before starting an installation or work, alternation, repair, or extension on any electrical system, the owner, lessors, operators, occupants, or licensed electrical practitioner shall be obtain electrical permit of buildings, trailers, mobile homes, or other premises from other office of the local building official and for watercrafts from the Maritime Industry Authority of Marina. In assuring electrical permit, the services of licensed electrical practitioner is required under the new Electrical Engineering Law or Republic Act 7920. According this electrical permit, this is the one needed to work before our work started. They will be find the permit if we have permit or not, and the installation or no installation and other repair extension in any electrical system. The requirement of permit is the signature and submittals or the signatures of the board and the regular board and the submission. And electrical permit shall include the following minimum of information. Number one is applicant, profession of electrical engineering who signed or sealed electrical plans and specification, license of electrical practitioner or electrical works, building owner, lot owner, and building official. Um, Continuation of electrical permit to be issued immediately. The application upon receipt shall be checked immediately the local building official or his representatives in compliance with the requirements of complying electrical permits shall be issued upon payment of the corresponding electrical fees. Okay. Electrical inspection. Application for inspection shall be filed with the government authority concerned before a preliminary and or final inspection is done. Example of inspection is the oh, the government and the fire station. Number one is the most required for the safety inspection of electrical. Number two is certificate of inspection. They needed to approve the installation or okay or not be okay in the building or local building. Um, the special is temporary installation. For temporary installation, electrical installation, the same procedure that stated above shall be followed. Number one is temporary installation shall be removed or extended or uses of temporary installations shall be required new approval or electrical permit. Then special permission required is the written approval of the licensed electrical practitioner under the enforcing government authority concerned prior to installation. Reconnection and disconnection services. Um, in cases where service has been cut off for more than 1 year, for a new certificate for final electrical inspection shall be required or before reconnecting. So according sa reconnection of disconnection services, more than a year will be make a new certificate for ano, final electricals inspection and they give the certificate of inspection for continuation the reconnection of services.